Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we are in the shop today and something just arrived that I've been waiting for 6 to 8 weeks. May have been 7 weeks, I don't know, whatever the exact timing was. Let's just say this is the second week of January. I ordered these around Black Friday, so it was in November. So it's been quite a while, and this is gonna be one of the final pieces. I don't think it's gonna be the last piece, but one of the final pieces for us getting the car ready for Indy. And if you guys might be wondering, well, what that is going to be, this is one of 2 boxes. The second box has not arrived. You guys can see this says SP2 Forged. So what that is short for, that's short for St. Paul. I think it's St. Paul Performance, something like that. But basically what that is a forged wheel company out of Minnesota. And Joe Garofalo is the owner there. It might be Joe Garofalo Jr. Apologize if I'm butchering that last name. It's my best attempt at it. But basically, Joe has been making wheels for the C6, C606, and the C601 setups for a while now. And we wanted something that would blend in kind of with what we have. And what we have are C601 calipers all the way around, obviously with the carbon ceramic brakes. If you guys remember when we did the brake swap, I had a shop up in Wisconsin, late model throttle, LMT, I believe that's right. And maybe it's late model technologies. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They machined a brand new set of calipers that we had ordered off Rock Auto. So what I did was, had them drop ship from Rock Auto to LMT. LMT machined them. We got them here, we painted them, and we installed them. And unfortunately, when we did that, we found out that the 17s that I've had for quite a while, these actually fit the SS and the Corvette. These Motegi 17s over here under the table, unfortunately, they do not clear that carbon ceramic disc or the brake caliper. So I'd actually hit up Joe for Black Friday of 2024, actually 2023, not Black Friday of 24, and hit him up for a set of Forge lines. You know, Forge Line makes a beadlock 17 rear wheel that fits the C601s. And I was kind of like, I was on the fence. I was never, you know, he offered a great price for my, I want to say it was like $400 or $500 off, which was fine. But I was never happy with the design. And I'm kind of glad I waited because I saw some of the designs that Joe was pumping out at his wheel company, SP2 Forged. And one of them was a cup wheel. He basically was like, we can do any size, any wheel, any dimension, any custom stuff you want to do, and that's what we went with. And so basically, we've got a set of wheels that are really going to match what we have, and what we have are C6 cup wheels. All right, so right off the bat, you guys can see this says 17-inch, and then there's this little yellow and red sticker on there. If you guys can't read it from the camera, we'll zoom in on that in a second, but yeah, so I waited about 6 weeks for these, 6, 8 weeks, whatever it was. It's been a while. And the only complaint that I would have is I didn't get a tracking number. And when you order a set of wheels, you would think you'd get a tracking number, which, hey, not that big of a deal, but Joe had actually messaged me on Facebook Messenger, because that's where we did most of our communication. And he's like, hey, how do you like the wheels? And I'll be honest, I didn't reply. I was like, what are you talking about? One of the wheels showed up. It was on my doorstep. It was like 10 o'clock last night. UPS dropped it off at like 9:45. And I didn't see it. I think he'd messaged me, I don't know, 11 p.m. at night. So he was at least tracking where the wheels were. But I wish he'd shared me that number. You know, that's just a little bit besides the point. So overall, the packing looks fine. It had these protective edge cardboard in there. That stuff's real thick. We got some styrofoam here. We've got, well, heck, I can already see the design of the wheel. Got a plastic bag, and then we're gonna have a protective cover on here. So guys, let's do the full reveal. 1, 2, 3. And there you go, guys. This is a fully beadlock C6 Corvette Cup rear wheel. And so yeah, this is a 17 by 11. It is kind of a 2-piece wheel, if that makes sense. You guys will see that your outer bead will go here. Your beadlock rim will tighten against the wheel. Oh, there is some knurling in here, so that's a good thing. We've had beadlock wheels before, so there's knurling on both the flange as well as the wheel part, so that's cool. And so yeah, that is a custom 17x11 wheel that we had manufactured. We had the beadlocks added because, you know, we do make over 800 horsepower currently. That was on 93. We've got ED5 to add, and we've got a new ECU to add in as well. Also the 2-inch headers, you guys can see one of those right there. I think we've already seen that video, but I literally just unboxed those as well. And so yeah, a lot of stuff to get going, and just wanted to show you the custom wheels that we had made for the back of the Corvette. And so yeah, that is basically the next project for the Corvette, is to get a fully set, custom set of 17-inch wheels on the rear. You guys might be concerned about the front. I am not. Joe actually makes some skinnies up front, but for right now, we're not really going drag racing. We are basically just going half-mile racing. And I don't really want to run skinnies on the front of the car. I want a full tire up front. So we'll have the 17x11s in the back, and then the front, that's a 19x8 or something like that. 19x9 something. Now guys, I mentioned that red and yellow sticker. I am fully aware of how these are made. And so yeah, within the last 3 or 4 months, there have been a number of companies. I'm not going to call anyone out, but I know this is how they're produced. Guys will take custom spec wheels. Usually they're focusing on one product, like a Dodge, the Mopars. They want kind of a OEM plus rear wheel. CTSVs, those ones just came out. They actually might be landing stateside like now. And then Joe's obviously got a corner on the Corvette market. So how these are made is they're designed here. Someone's designing them, whether it's each one of those individual guys or they just enter the specs into some computer. They have some guy measure it, and then they send those designs overseas. And so I'm fully aware that if you guys look, this red and yellow sticker as well as these stickers here definitely have Chinese on it. Now I'll be honest, I don't know if it's Mandarin or Cantonese, whatever. Obviously I don't speak either one of those languages. So I am fully aware that these are made overseas. So I'm not going to hide the fact that that's where these are made. I know that's where they're made. So if you guys see these OEM spec wheels with beadlocks on it, 99% of the time it's going to be some guy locally designed it or took the specs for it, sent it overseas, had it manufactured, and had it shipped back to the US, because shipping apparently takes a while. That's why I've only gotten one. Well, I'm not going to complain too bad. The second wheel should be here today. So yeah, that's just a little bit background of the wheel spec, any design you can do. I believe you can get these in different colors. Obviously for our setup, I wanted it kind of muted. I didn't want you to be able to see that this was a beadlocked wheel. So that's kind of why I went with all black. You know, powder coat on the outer ring, powder coat on the wheel, and then the logos and everything. I did not have them engraved. So yeah, that's pretty sick that you guys can get a set of 17s, and I'm hoping, knocking on wood, that they fit. Because the last time we did this was with the Jags wheels and the 15-inch brake kit, which we've got still some parts of. So to prevent any of the fiasco that we had with the 15-inch kit, we're going to go ahead, take the stock wheel off, bolt this one up, and make sure it fits. And then, you know, the other thing, okay, they are a 30-degree angle there. If you order a set of welds, they are either straight cut or they're angled like a 30-degree angle. Maybe it's 20, I don't remember what the angle is, but that actually determines what kind of lug nuts you need to use. With that 30-degree angle in these holes, you can use probably an OEM style lug nut. All right guys, so we got the rear wheel popped off and we have put on one of the wheels. And guys, when I say this is close, I'm not joking. I mean, I think we've got less than a 1/4 inch between the caliper and the side of the wheel. And so as you can hear, it's not rubbing. The only thing you're hearing, it might be the other tire dragging on the brake duct back here, but you know, obviously with this side with no tire, we're not gonna have any issues. But yeah, so far it's not marking up the wheel at all, so that's pretty good. And everything looks like it's gonna fit without issue. And so thankfully this time everything worked out as it should, unlike the previous setup that we had with the 15-inch brake kit and those wheels from Jags. At full droop, the wheel is not gonna hit the lower control arm. I know some guys might have issues with that. I actually ground down my control arms when we did the 15-inch conversion a couple of years ago. So I have really nothing to worry about. As far as control arms with these 17s, you guys should not have an issue either, because this wheel is a similar spec as the Motegi wheels that I was running earlier. And yeah, so those aren't going to hit at all. All right, guys, we just got back from Discount Tire, and I had them dismount the 305 45 17s from the Motegi wheels that we had set up. We had this set up on the C6Z06 wheels, so they'll fit that just fine. They will also fit the back of a Chevy SS with the V6 brakes, the 2014 brakes, as well as the rear Brembos. Now, these will not, unfortunately, fit on a CTS V2. I don't know how that's different, but somehow the CTS V2 rear end just doesn't fit these particular wheels, because people have bought them. They're like, oh, they fit the G8, they fit the SS, they fit the Caprice. They should fit the V2. No, they don't. All right, guys, we struggled for about an hour, and we gave up. And what do I mean by that? We have them fully put together, mounted, balanced, installed, you know, the full enchilada. And what I mean by that is basically, I was out here for about 45 minutes to an hour. Actually, I'll have a picture here. I'd actually taken off the beadlock, and I got about half of the tire over the lip. And then it just stopped. All progress was pretty much just me trying to shove it, you know, putting weight on it. I didn't have any tire spoons that may have been able to help out, but I just got to that point. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. It wasn't worth my time, and I was kind of had an idea in the back of my mind that there is one shop that I do trust in the area. It's actually not even a shop. It's a mobile tire installation, and that business is actually called Modern Mobile Tire. I'll have their little logo down here. And my buddy with a Porsche and a whole bunch of other cars, he uses them exclusively. So I gave them a call this morning. I said, hey, I've got these C601 wheels. They do have a beadlock. Is that something that you guys would work on? He had to call me back because he's like, we've done them in the past, but I just want to make sure. And yeah, so he gave me a call back, quoted me $50 a wheel for the install. So $100 for the set. I know that may seem a little bit expensive, but when you have to deal with a beadlock, you've got to put the, 20-some freaking bolts in there, torque them down, tighten it, and then mount it and balance and all that stuff. And so this is one of those times where I'm gladly okay to shell out $100 because it saves my back. I don't have to deal with any of the pain or trying to end up scratching the rims or anything. All right, guys, we got the wheel fully installed. You guys can see we've got the ET Street R mounted, and everything's clearing. Wheel went back on without any issue. The only little bit issue that I'm running into is basically the center cap. And they did provide these SP2 center caps. And I think what I'm running into is just a little bit of interference between the powder coat on the wheel and the powder coat on the center cap. Basically in this lip right here that I'm kind of pointing at. Trying to push the center cap on, and it just wants to twist. So we'll just clean up the inside of this barrel a little bit with a little bit of red Scotch-Brite pad, and that should take that right off and make sure that's a flush fit, because it's so tight I actually can't push it on. Not a bigger deal, but it's just one of the side effects of powder coating everything. So, but yeah, everything went on without issue. And like I said, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. You guys might be wondering, well, why aren't we backing the car out? Well, we got one little inconvenience, and that's the fact there's no exhaust on it. You guys will have already seen that full exhaust install video, but we're kind of filming, multiple videos at once. So yeah, the car's a little bit torn apart. And I've got a couple more things coming in that we ordered. I emailed the manufacturer. I haven't heard anything. So yeah, the customer service on one of the items that I ordered, they're going to get a mouthful from one of my videos. But hey, that's neither here nor there, and that'll be in a future video. So yeah, I can't really roll the car out, do a grand reveal. That's because, like I said, we're missing parts, and I need to get the exhaust installed. So if you guys want to see that, we should have like 1 or 2 more videos left. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you guys want to help support this series, make sure you check out the links down below. I'll have a link down to SP2 Forged. I'll have a link over to MTM, Modern Tire Mobility tire installers, as well as maybe a link to the old wheels, because I think I did buy those on Amazon. So yeah, we'll include links for everything, and I might be able to find a link to the tires as well. So yeah, check out all those links down below, and also make sure you check our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Like I said, we have that new Corvette merch, and that's gonna be about it. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.